AITA for not forgiving my military father who thought my mother cheated on him? 18M. My father used to work in the military. He had left my mother for a long time, throughout her pregnancy and a good 2 years into my birth. So when he came back, he got a 2-year-old son. He was sure I was not his but his neighbor's because the neighbor used to help out my mother. My mother never agreed to a paternity test. Well, he could still have done it, but she was very clear that she will drag him through hell if he did that. She said she did not cheat on him, he has no evidence of it and no reasonable logic behind it. If he can't trust her, then the marriage is over, he can sign her half of his everything and go look for a new wife. He never behaved badly with her, people say he loves her or something. But in his eyes, I was the evidence. He blamed me for everything. He never let me call him dad, never hugged me or picked me up. I have always been an eyesore for him. Somehow, they didn't divorce. But I have always seen them fighting because of me. My father would do something neglectful towards me, my mother would call it out, they would start arguing and it would end in my mother shouting and crying that does he still believes that she cheated on him, then my father would apologize and comfort her. But my mother did take care of me, well, until my brother was born. My brother Jack was born when I was 11. Things got worse for me since then. It's not like they were abusing me, he never raised his voice or beat me, I was fed, clothed, tuition fees paid and I had a roof over my head, but that was all. My mother stopped putting any efforts towards sticking up for me, if he does something mean with me she would just avoid it. I was the huge pink elephant in the room, bringing me up would always start a fight. I guess she got tired of constantly fighting for me and chose peace, aka avoiding my existence. He would call Jack his son pointedly at the dining table when I am eating with them. At first my mother used to say, "But Evan is your son too, honey," now she would just eat silently or change the topic. When introducing to new people he would say, "This is my son Jack and this is Evan." He would never show up any event regarding me. I was despised in the community, it's a small town, people would whisper behind my back, "Isn't that the illegitimate boy?" Yeah, poor dude, he was sacrificing his life for the country when his wife was sleeping around. I was very clear that I would move out when I turn 18 and go NC with them. They did not object, my mother said something like, "Oh, but you should visit us sometimes." But he said when I turn an adult, I should also actually be one. I should make my own fortune and not sit around hoping for getting stuff from him. I turned 18 on 27 of last month and I will go to another state when this month ends. I'll stay at a friend's place there and hopefully find a job. I have saved up some money, it's not much but I guess I can manage for a few months. Before doing that, I wanted to see the paternity test done, I thought it would give me a sense of closure. My mother also agreed, though reluctantly, when I said I want to do it. Now comes the part that most of you probably have already seen coming. Yeah, turns out I am his after all. Mother is in I told you so mod. He is devastated, I guess for all those years wasted on hatred, poor guy. Now he wants to make up to me. He is begging me to stay, he says he's sorry, he has made a mistake. I am not budging, I'm not letting him know which state I'm going, what will I do or any of my contact info. He didn't feel like keeping them before, he doesn't need to now. I also told him I will never tell my children about him. I will never show him my face as I had promised, and I will never accept anything from him. Well, he has told about this to everyone to convince me to stay or at least to stay in contact. I told them he's not my father. Everyone is saying I'm being unnecessarily cruel to a person who has made a mistake, it's not his fault, the situation was like that.